Alrighty. Howdy, folks. This is Wah, Escaping Dystopia. It is almost February 8th, 2019. I was going to do a show tonight about home improvement. Uh, I was just talking about this a little bit earlier, but uh, I wanted to cover a little bit about the tax returns in 2019 and the effects of the Republican tax law. So, this is Paul Ryan's legacy. Paul Ryan was the Speaker of the House. He was, the super tax wonk who wanted to fix the tax code, and they did that. And this is what they consider fixing it. So, the big changes that they made were simplifying things. They got rid of kind of the basic itemized deductions, right? And just made a much bigger standard deduction, and then reduced the corporate tax rate by nearly a third, right? From 35 down to 21%. So the effects of this are now happening. They changed kind of you can file your tax return on a postcard kind of thing. So what happened with the old tax code? There was all those exemptions and things, so it was very difficult for accurate prediction of how much taxes you owed on your paycheck. Excuse me. I don't have my water tonight, but so this is why people would generally get larger tax returns, because you would overpay your taxes, and then at the end of the year you get that back. So, to a certain kind of economic mind, this is literally a zero interest loan that you are giving to the government throughout the year and then collecting back. For large amounts of money, this becomes a really kind of silly thing to do. So for very wealthy people, this seems crazy. So for in conservative ideology, giving this zero interest tax loan to the government is just stupid. For normal, like regular middle class folks, it's kind of like their Christmas fund, right? But this is actually how they pay off the Christmas bills, is with the tax return. And a lot of middle class folks with a couple kids are not right around there. Even when I didn't have kids, I'd still get a pretty solid return for a grand or two if you had like less exemption. But now, because they simplified and fixed the tax code, they have very accurate withholdings, right? So they know exactly how much taxes you're going to need to be paying if you have a consistent paycheck. So when you get time to file your tax return, there's not like thousands of dollars of off. You're pretty much dead on, or might owe a little bit if you miss some other income. And so that's what they did. They fixed the tax code. So now companies can accurately predict how much taxes you owe and take out the right withholding, so you don't even have to really do much of a return. Now this is a huge change for the country. I mean, even like there's all the way to like income tax refund sales that furniture, and people sometimes wait for large purchases until they get their income tax return. I mean, it's a big thing. And I think this year and over the next few months, you're gonna see you're gonna see what happens when that has been taken away. And this is after, right, these massive corporate profits and all these stock buybacks. So we knew that the money wasn't trickling down, and now you're gonna see that the accurate tax calculations mean that there is no return to speak of. So I think you're going to see this, and the reason why I'm doing this as a show now, because this is just kind of starting to bubble up, and this is the thing too, and in states like this is going to destroy support for Republicans and in any place that has a high income tax state, because they also limited the state and local income tax. So with that, and the way they just changed it, they made the standard deduction large enough that you can't really get there with a lot of the stuff. It's like 20 something thousand dollars unless you make a ton of money, and then you get there. So most people are not going to be doing itemization anymore for their taxes. And that was also, and this is going to be the other big impact, which is unfortunate, is when you would itemize, if you got past the standard deduction, right, anything you could add to that, even little bits, would cut down on your overall tax burden, right? Your adjusted gross income would be reduced by you know, all these exemptions you could get. This is where that end of year charitable giving comes in, right? Because if you have itemization for like your mortgage insurance, your mortgage interest, state and local taxes, and that goes beyond what had been the standard exemption, anything you did beyond that would, you know, reduce your taxable income. So it became very efficient then to do charitable giving at the end of the year when you know that would directly reduce your tax burden. And so, you know, anyway, now that's not going to happen because with that expanded standard deduction, people aren't going to be above it, right? You're not going to be able to give another $500 to get above that. You're still going to be within that range. And so between those two changes, this is how it's going to really affect, you know, the middle class of the country, including a lot of the working class, and especially in high tax states like California and New Jersey, New York, and even the Republicans there who are kind of the middle class and the suburbs, right? They're gonna feel it, and I think you're gonna see kind of a major revolt over the next couple months. Um, so that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about tonight. Just a little prognostication for the tax code changes and how that's going to affect our society. And you'll see some more stories about this coming out, I think, over the next little while. Yeah, tell me about your experiences and how things worked out for you if you've been paying taxes for, you know, a generation or two. How things just changed now that they fixed it. So we'll see how long this one goes. Peace out.